There are major updates to the gruesome scene Friday at the Sunport. It wasn't one body found inside that vehicle, that red truck you see there at this garage. It was four people who police say were killed. We now know their names. We know a little bit about them as well. There are still many questions tonight. Ryan Laughlin is live in the newsroom. He spoke to a victim's family member and to police all in the last few hours. So Ryan, what do we know?
Well, Tommy, we know that 3 of the people found were connected to a missing persons case out of Grants. The 4th is an Albuquerque man, and the person of interest in this case has a family connection to one of the victims. In the early morning hours on Friday, Albuquerque police were called after a grisly discovery was made.
They felt there was a foul odor, and that odor led them to further investigate.
4 bodies found in that truck on the top level of the Sunport parking garage, which caught the attention of Grants police, who were looking for 3 people since the beginning of February.
The bodies were taken to the MEs for identification, and we're currently waiting for that.
Then Sunday evening, APD announced
detectives were able to determine preliminarily on Friday evening that this was a possible connection to the missing people, the 3 missing individuals in Grants.
21-year-old Matthew Miller, 39-year-old Jennifer Lannon, and 40-year-old Justin Mata were found.
The bodies were in a pretty bad state. I'm not sure how long, how long they'd been in the truck or in these, in the state that they were.
However, the 4th person was not from Grants. Instead, 60-year-old Randall Apostolon was an Albuquerque man.
At this point, we're reluctant to say anything further about potential suspects or offenders, just because we don't want to jeopardize the investigation.
However, Grants police do have a person of interest in their missing persons case. Daniel Lemos, a 45-year-old who goes by Dog or Perro, is an armed and dangerous fugitive that court records show has a lifetime's worth of bad decisions, some with drugs, and a connection to Arizona.
Can we say anything at this point about any known nexus between drugs and or the cartel?
I can't. I think it'd be irresponsible to jump to any conclusions.
APD says they have been in touch with the DEA and the FBI, but are not sure of their current involvement.
I think there are a lot of leads. Grants had been working on the missing persons portion of this for a while.
The investigation continues.
They're working quickly, and they're making a lot of progress so far, so hopefully we'll have an update soon.
Now, this gruesome case began when 21-year-old Matthew Miller went missing in Grants. Grants police were looking for Jennifer Lannon and Justin Mata to question them about Miller's disappearance. Then they both went missing. We spoke with Miller's aunt tonight, and she says while drugs were in Miller's life, he was all in all a good kid.
He was simply just at the wrong place at the wrong time and giving somebody a ride.
Now, we also learned from her that the now person of interest in this case, Daniel Lemos, is related to Matthew Miller.
He is our family. Danny Lemos is our cousin. And you know what, if I could reach out to, or Danny Lemos could reach out to me, if we could just get some answers, but just, I don't know. There's just something that tells me that I can't see it.
Police are still investigating whether or not the suspect may or may not have hopped on a plane. They know who the owner of the truck was and say they don't believe there is any greater danger to the public at this moment. And lastly, Tommy, there is a GoFundMe up to help the Millers with funeral expenses. That's under this story on KOB.com.